Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday, the 8th of December. So, morning all. Morning, morning, Ken. Let's see what's up this morning. News-wise, we've got nothing. So let's just purely look at the technicals. I haven't fully run through these this morning, and my system took a reboot, and it's taken me ages to get it re-running. So here goes. So you're live with me. The euro US dollar Friday ended up on a bit of a down day. Today is seeing a little bit of a bounce. It is consolidating on the bigger time frame. You see it better around here. Hasn't quite touched the new weekly pivot, but it's around it. But it's been restrained, or the resistance is in the form of a quarterly pivot there. There was actually a weekly R2 up there as well, which is hidden by the weekly pivot, quarterly pivot even. It struggled a bit, put a little lower high in there. We can get a little ABC correction, so can't read too much into it, but sorry, I'll just come back there. The trend is still, well, still almost intact. Gone ugly on the short term time frame here. This is, sorry, let's just put this into an hourly. It's better. But certainly gone ugly on the 15 minutes. It shows us that there's lack of anything too much at the moment. I'll come back to this. I've got nothing there at the moment. The pound is pretty much looking the same. If I can get back into the pound, let's come on, switch over. It's deciding it's going to take a while. There we go. It's trouble when the computer's had to reboot. Some bits of it are faster. The rest of it, it's all slow. So it's like you're looking at it the first time. Anyway, the pound. I'll come back to that dailies for a second. So we ran in last week into my pivotal level, which is, this goes back for months, maybe even a year or so. But this is where the price seems to be holding. If it's a pivotal area, pivotal point, which is sits in the market, and we're seeing a reaction to that at the moment, for sure. It did run into its weekly R2 as well as the euro last week. As it's sitting at the moment, again, same sort of picture. It'd be interesting to see what reaction, if any reaction, we get off of the weekly pivot if it gets back there. If we get some sort of bounce with both the higher lows and the higher highs that are coming through there is a scope of that to continue. On the short time frames, it's a bit of a mess at the moment. Morning, Ian. That's it. Right, okay, so dollar yen. This has been coming down. It has, on the shorter time frame, got the lower highs, lower lows. It's a little bit stuck where it is at the moment. Be interesting to see what happens this morning. It's back to its weekly pivot, back into the 34 moving average. Is it going to roll backwards, roll over? Wait and see on this, but yeah, it's lacking too much at the moment. It looks, if anything, that if it breaks back above, there's a quarterly pivot, this long one here, if it gets back above that, as a potential, it'll get back above that at the moment, and if it does, well, we could be seeing it running up to its R1, but bit of a mess at the moment. But all things can change quite quickly after 8. We'll see. I'm considering actually doing these updates at about 8:45 rather than 8:45, only purely because of the changes in the markets. It's Australian dollar. I talked about it last week. It's just continuing to push up there. If you've got into it and you've got some skin on the market, marvellous. It's well, just looking like a never-ending continuation at the moment. However, it has double tops now in this short time frame here. Coming back towards its pivot, it could get a little bit more consolidated with all the other markets sort of sitting there a bit consolidated. We'll see, but certainly the commodity currencies seem to be having a bit more fun of things. Talking of which, the Canadian dollar. Oops, if we can get the Canadian dollar on, that'd be good. We saw it on Friday, the numbers coming out a bit more positive there, and well, selling off. It already had the shape of things in the week. We had this move back to the pivot. It ran off, giving up further opportunities. Broke the lows there, confirming another lower high. And Friday, well, wouldn't have bet on this on Friday in terms of the move because of the news coming out, but it has come right the way back to this white line here is the quarterly pivot, so it's sitting on support until its quarterly pivot at the moment. These can obviously be, I say obviously, but they're quite strong pivots in terms of the price reaction to them. Sometimes it will just consolidate around them, other times it will bounce and get going, so we just need to give it a bit of time, see what it does here. It is consolidating around it at the moment. It's air kissed it actually twice, it hasn't quite touched it on here, but we'll see what it does. A break back below that will be more positive for the CAD, less positive obviously here on the dollar, as we see the dollar softening further against it. Now we've got to remember the interest rates are being cut as far as they're probably likely to be cut there on the US dollar now, so it's sort of this rally that we've been seeing with the dollar, etc. Well, it may well be over now. New Zealand dollar, well, it is over technically. New Zealand dollar, lower highs, lower lows, largely on this on the bigger time frames, really following the Aussie dollar largely. But it's more recently put these higher lows in, and it too is a little bit more positive, although New Zealand catches the coattails for a while, but often when things start going a little bit wrong, it will dive quicker. But at the moment it's just not really. Thursday, Friday, today, well, so far it's a bit rangy. Possibly consolidation after such a big move. Okay, so nothing major there at this stage. There's certainly worth looking back at these give them probably an hour or so, and they'll be maybe in a better shape, give us a few more clues to in which direction they're going to go for today. Looking at the gold, okay, so gold struggling a little bit where it's sitting there, but consolidating on the dailies there. Last week spent most of the week consolidating, looking a little bit soft where it is at the moment, particularly on the hourly. Oh, just lost my hourly cheat there. What happened there? Oh, there we go. Does this to me from now time to time. Let's pop that back there. There we go. Particularly on the hourlies here, it's put this pivot swing, and at the moment it just looks quite bearish on the short term here, but with everything that's been going on, I'm not overly keen on selling gold, but it is giving a weak signal there, or signal of weakness. I'll rephrase that. Right, oil, it's flat this morning, and well, we saw it last week trying to work its way back up the last 3 days of the week. Still remains really choppy, and it's off my sort of trading radar at the moment. It may be that at some stage I'll get back into this, but it's, to me, it's not too far away from. If we come back to the daily, oh goodness, what's it doing now? Right, if you come back to the dailies here, you look at the bigger picture, and the oil price itself sitting here not far. Yeah, in the okay, it's just hitting $60 again, but that is a price which I don't think we'll see it go much below that. It's a sort of almost because of the prices of production, etc., and a lot of newer and a lot of deposits. It's unlike the Saudi oil, which is ridiculously low. A lot of oil producers have much higher cost base now, and the price has basically a floor, at which time traders, producers stopped producing. Right, anyway, there we go. It's not far from that floor. It could still have days down, but it's just choppy. The S&Ps, well, just continuing to work its way back towards the all-time highs. We're not far off it again. Who would actually fight against these, eh? High lows, higher highs. Very slow at the moment, a steady sort of movement. We've got the interest rate decision this week, isn't it? So, well, ugly on an intraday basis. You've got to tread carefully. I prefer the cash market to be open, certainly for these markets. It's a bit slow at the moment, but nothing immediate on that. However, let's have a look at the FTSE. This is turned off a little bit here. On Friday it came back off. Just struggling to do anything last week for most of the week there. If you just, there you go. It's just on the 4-hourly chart here. You can just see that was the whole week there. Barely doing anything. Looking, if anything, a tad on the softer side. Yeah, there's nothing right setting for me right now. Maybe a move into that pivot. A reaction off that could be an opportunity, but we'll see. The DAX, this is the whipping boy. This was going up last week. We've got higher lows put in on the dailies there, so slightly changing in scale, and well, a little bit soft at the moment, but bull flag on the 4-hourlies there, although that's getting a bit extended in terms of time. We'll see what it does this morning. If it pushes back up, R1 is certainly there. Certainly at the moment, the high lows, higher highs. It's keeping me out of the short side of things on it, but that might change as the day stroke week progresses. For now, it's not a lot there. So missing the 2-hour time frame. I don't really use the 2-hour time frame. I've got if you look at it in quartiles, the daily, 4-hourly, and hourly is fine. 2 hours, I mean, people pick on the 2-hour time frame because they just do, but because other people like the 2 hour, they're determined to find something out there. So let's have a look at the 2-hour time frame. Well, it's going to be showing itself for me as I'm basically looking at price action. If it's doing it on the 2-hour, it will be showing the pattern on the hourly or the 4-hourly. So don't really need to look at every single time frame, and the more significant ones, as I say, is the daily, the 4-hourly and the hourly, and 15 minutes from there downwards. Right, I shall leave you there. I wish you a good day's trading, and I will catch you tomorrow for you guys live on the YouTube. Bye for now.